In the mid-1970s, in a quiet corner of Rhode Island, a family hoped to finally find the long-awaited peace. Roger Perron, a hard-working and devoted man, his wife Carolyn, a gentle, energetic, and caring woman, and their 5 beautiful daughters, Andrea, Nancy, Christine, Cindy, and April. After years of struggle, they finally found a house that seemed to have stepped out of an old legend. A large home with wooden walls, high ceilings, and a wide yard surrounded by ancient trees. They called this house the Arnold Estate, a property with a 100-year history. No one knew the secret that this house held within its walls. On the first day, everyone was happy. The children ran through the yard. Carolyn looked out the window and smiled, while Roger gazed at the house lovingly and said, "This is our new beginning." But that very night, before going to bed, Carolyn heard a strange noise, as if someone was walking down the stairs, but when she approached, there was no one. She laughed it off to herself. "Maybe it's just the wind," she said. Little did she know, this was only the beginning. The following days passed quietly. The family felt happy, but at night, things began to change. The youngest daughter, April, told her mother that she had made a new friend. "He talks to me in my bedroom," she said. Carolyn smiled. "Maybe it's your imagination, dear." But April insisted, "No, Mom, his name is Rory." This was the first time the name Rory echoed through the house. One night, Roger came home late from work. As he walked through the living room, he saw a chair move slightly by itself. He laughed it off, but the next morning, when passing through the parlor, the tea table had been moved as if someone had dragged it during the night. Sometimes, they heard a thump on the wall, but when they went outside, the wind was calm. Carolyn began keeping a diary, writing each night. Tonight, footsteps again. The girls said someone is watching them. They had a dog, Sadie. From the first day, the dog seemed uneasy. It always stared into a dark corner of the room, growling. One night, Sadie suddenly let out a loud cry. The next morning, when the girls woke up, the dog was dead in front of the doorway. There were no signs, no blood, no wounds. This was Carolyn's first real shock. She whispered, "Something is not right in this house." Each day, the situation worsened. The temperature inside would suddenly drop, even when the fireplace was burning. A strange smell, like something burning, would appear in the rooms. The girls no longer wanted to sleep alone. They said that at night a woman in old-fashioned clothing stood over them, silently watching. Carolyn tried to convince herself that it was all imagination, but deep down, she knew this house was alive. The eldest daughter, Andrea, was the calmest. She tried to comfort her sisters, but one night, when she woke up, she saw a woman standing in her room with a dark face, long hands, and old clothing. When she tried to scream, no sound came out. The next morning, she said it had all been a dream, yet red marks remained on her neck. Day by day, Carolyn grew more exhausted. When she was alone, she would hear sounds from the kitchen, like clattering dishes. Sometimes, she saw a shadowy figure in the mirror on the table, but when she turned around, there was no one. She told Roger, but he said, "It's just stress, Carolyn. We work too much. Calm down." Still, deep inside, she felt something in this house was wrong. After a few weeks, word spread in the neighborhood that the Perron family was witnessing strange things. A neighbor said that years ago this house belonged to a woman named Bathsheba Sherman, whom people called a witch. They said she had sacrificed her child and later hanged herself. Carolyn couldn't sleep after hearing these stories. She felt watched every night. After a terrifying night when all objects in the house fell at once, Carolyn went to the church. She spoke to a priest who simply said, "Sometimes houses remember the past." She returned home, but that night, the noises came again. This time, it sounded as if someone was scratching the walls with their nails. Thus, the peaceful life of the Perrons turned into a nightmare. They now knew they were not alone in the house, but they still didn't know what force was controlling them. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And stay tuned, the second part is coming soon, and you won't want to miss it.